artificial intelligence is remaking marketing as we speak. And if you're a marketer, you can either get up to speed or get left behind. The choice is yours, and really it's a no-brainer. Join Geoff Livingston and Greg Verdino as they explore the latest AI news, trends, tools, and ideas that are creating the future of marketing today. This is No Brainer, an AI podcast for marketers. Take it away, Geoff and Greg.
Hey, everybody, I'm back, and that was a great interview with Adam and Andy. I thought they did a really fantastic job, and obviously, Hive 3 is pretty hot stuff. And to wrap up the show, I thought we'd have a little fun for Halloween. Obviously, I miss my compatriot in crime, Greg. And again, thoughts are with him and the Verdino family. But for this particular episode, with AI often portrayed as a bad guy in movies, most recently, I think, with the Mission Impossible 85 or whatever it is, I figured I would ask our favorite LLMs what their top 5 AI bad guys, monsters, boogeymen of all time were. And so with that, let's go through Bard, Claude, and ChatGPT's responses and see what they came up with. So first, let's start with the underdog of the group, Bard. And I think it's kind of interesting because each one of them had a unique bad guy AI. And number 5 from Bard was Ultron from the Avengers, the Age of Ultron. And of course, that was really fantastic and really enjoyable. A bad guy there. Although of the Avengers movies with the full ensemble, the Age of Ultron may have been the maybe the least favorite. Of course, James Spader did a great job voicing Ultron. A lot of fun with that one. The next one is Vicky from iRobot, which was the intelligence behind the robots. And Will Smith and Detective Spooner went after that. I mean, it was a good AI villain. You can't go wrong with any Isaac Asimov book. I don't know if I would rate that above James Spader's Ultron, but that's viable. Vicky's cool. Well, not cool as a bad guy AI, but still, if you're into the spirit of Hollywood portraying AI as evil, then it was fun. This one was the one that really stood out with the Bard list. Am from I Am Mother. Am is a highly intelligent artificial robot that is tasked with raising a new generation of humanity following a global extinction event. So kind of like this horrific Big Brother thing. And, Am raises a girl as daughter in the underground bunker, but obviously she figures things out. And then the number 2 and number 1 bad guys from Bard are the same as the bad guys from Claude and ChatGPT. So I'll go into them on this one. And then when we get to the latter 2, we'll just go and 2 and 1. So number 2 was Skynet from the Terminator franchise. I mean, obviously, wow. I mean, everybody, when they reference AI today, they talk about Skynet as the worst case scenario where AI takes over the world and kind of ruins everything for humanity and in a horrific genocide type of way. So, I mean, I think maybe actually for me, Skynet's number 1 because it's obviously the most terrifying worst case example. I actually think Skynet was based off of our number 1 bad guy from Bard, but all 3 bots thought it was number 2. So Skynet from the Terminator, as originally impersonated as Arnold Schwarzenegger, then Skynet became more and more intelligent and Schwarzenegger became a good guy, which was weird. A good guy robot fighting a bad guy robot, probably more realistic than anything we can imagine. And number 1 from Bard was the HAL 9000 from Stanley Kubrick's masterpiece, a 2001 Space Odyssey. Fantastic, incredible movie. HAL was horrifically creepy, kind of in the classic horror flick, knocking people off one at a time. And if you have not seen 2001 A Space Odyssey, everything that the Terminator does right is based off of this movie. I can see why Bard, Claude, and ChatGPT would make 2001 its number 1 movie, with HAL 9000 as the number 1 ghoul, AI ghoul, if you would. And so with that, let's move to Claude. So Claude also had Ultron from the Avengers as number 5. We don't need to do that one again. But number 4 was Ava from Ex Machina. And that was such a fantastic movie. But I was kind of unsure if she's a bad guy, to be honest with you. I think Claude may be a little bit off. She was more of an anti hero in the sense that that character was dealing with a creepy dude that was kind of using her in creepy ways as a robot, as a spouse partner type of situation. And she wanted her own emotional freedom and then killed him and got it. So was it really Ava the evil AI or Ava the free spirit human that has come up to realize her own independence and free herself from the abusive chains and shackles of men? Which is another narrative that we see often in Hollywood films. Number 3 from Claude, Vicky. Number 2, The Terminator. And number 1, HAL 9000 from 2001, Space Odyssey. Finally, let's get to ChatGPT, everybody's favorite. And yes, I did use ChatGPT 4. We're not going 3.5 turbo here. Number 5, guess it's Vicky, not Ultron. But both number 4 and number 3 are new entries. Samantha from Her, and as ChatGPT 4 likes to say, she's not overtly evil, but the existential dread she creates is real. Maybe we can all feel like that about the one that got away from us. And if you haven't seen Her, this is kind of actually very relevant. We actually brought it up in the last episode. Greg and I talked about how some dudes are now using AI as partners, like literally female counterparts, emotional counterparts. And then when these guys now get into real world relationships, they really struggle staying in them because the women that they're dating, or men, as the case may be, these partners are not ideal, right? They're not perfect like the AI is or the way they think it should be. And so, Samantha from Her is a very interesting contextual AI movie that folks should check out. Number 3 is Agent Smith from The Matrix. And I don't know if Agent Smith is the bad guy, because Agent Smith is clearly a great bad guy, but maybe The Matrix is the bad guy. I was really, really shocked that The Matrix didn't make it on the other lists, because I think that that's right up there with the Skynet from the Terminator series. I'd almost make my list be number 1, Skynet, number 2, Agent Smith, number 3, HAL 9000 is the original. I would definitely have Age of Ultron in there, but yeah, to make the top 3, it would definitely have to be 1, Skynet, 2, The Matrix, 3, 2001. I don't know what yours lists are. You can definitely list that in the comments, but wow, could not believe that Agent Smith did not end up on Claude or Bart's list at all, or The Matrix. So really, what a creepy series of movies that fascinated all of us, and we all watched it, and it was really incredible. And so, of course, with ChatGPT 4, we also got Terminator 2, 2001, Space Odyssey. Now, I've given you my top 3. I might keep Age of Ultron as 5. I think that Claude and Bard were onto something. I am not as much into Vicky and iRobot as the others were. I do feel like maybe Megan should have made it on one of these lists. I mean, wow, what a creepy movie. I don't know if you saw that. It came out at the beginning of this year. It's kind of like Chucky, but the AI version of Chucky, and this sentient being that kind of comes alive and takes over the world. There's also, I don't know, it's probably not a movie, but it's still Hollywood. There was that episode of Black Mirror with the AI dogs that hunt people down. Unbelievably creepy and scary. And so I think maybe that deserves some honorable mention somewhere. And of course, the most recent Mission Impossible movie, which we kind of referenced at the beginning of this segment, that deserves a mention somewhere, maybe an honorable mention. And there are so many movies and tropes of AI going wrong and evil and kind of being creepy, or humans using AI to be creepy, that it's just something that you could probably cite over and over again. So to wrap up, everybody except for Geoff, all the bots seem to think that 2001 Space Odyssey is the best. Terminator is number 2, and take your pick thereafter. My top 5, definitely the Terminator 1, 2, The Matrix, 3, 2001 Space Odyssey, and then we'll throw in Megan and The Age of Ultron. That wraps up this episode. Really appreciate you joining us. Again, thank you, Adam and Andy, for joining us. Please tell your friends about the No Brainer podcast. Please like this particular episode, share it with your friends, tell folks about it, and definitely give us a review. We greatly appreciate it. And wherever possible, have a great day. And thanks once again for your time. Peace out.